More dialogue. Hello, Kana.
I confess, I was hoping our meeting with Mayorwald would go a little differently. But then, you have gained an entire keep. I don't think I've seen anyone inherit land that quickly since Kind the Younger read her father's will.
I keep forgetting that I probably need to turn the music volume down. It comes and goes so strongly to being like completely silent to being like, ah, would you like to not hear any dialogue? It appears I am one of the gentry now. I wonder. I think the Deerwood would be slow to call you a Thane, or even Lord. Not that you don't deserve the titles, but these things are always complicated. Still, in practice, you are king of the keep.
It will give you a base from which to go searching at least. And then, there are secrets beneath the keep yet. With you at the helm, it should be easier to explore the endless paths.
Alright, let's calm you down a bit. Just a little out of control. Voice is at 100%, but I feel like the music still manages to overpower it constantly. Alright, I would love to talk to more characters, but let's maybe go do other stuff for a bit. Just because we can talk to the companions a bit more in the future. Where did we don't know what these other directions go to, though. Like, where does that go? Because there was 3 exits to this place that I haven't been to yet. Yep. It feels as if cobwebs are the only things holding this rickety old mess together. Something has made a nest out of the old straw and mattress ticking. Mattress ticking? I don't fully understand this terminology. This is the entire room, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. Question answered. Oh, this is the barracks. Ah. So much like the inn-looking place outside, these are all locations that will make more sense once I upgrade them, but for now they're just like a shitty room. Just a bunch of places that get all poopy. So the loading screens probably aren't because this is like too much space to handle at once, but instead that they're individual areas that are upgraded separately. So having them be a separately loaded location makes them assets easier to switch out as they get upgraded. Spiders have taken up residence in the empty shelves. Can I not click on that? The map shows the Deerwood's old colonial borders. A settlement called New Dunrid is marked in the place of present-day Defiance Bay.
Keeping quiet.
Any secret passages in this cool library? No? Is that too much to ask? Yeah. This dog is just up for adventure. He's just coming around. I feel like he'd be in severe danger in a lot of the situations we're in. Pets are a little hard to figure out in context sometimes. Danger, danger. Is it safe outside, or we're going to be in danger again? Alright, let's go check out the newly repaired Barbican for forward progress. I basically just want to proceed along the main story for a bit until we have a filled out party. The Eastern Barbican, a word that I do not ever hear, so that's a new one for me. The wooded plains, all the way down here, huh? Quite the distance. Practically going in circles around the Defiance Bay at this point. 18 hours! Damn, that's a trip. How do I access? How do I try to attack the master below? Did she explain that? Maybe that one force field was hers and it'll be gone now, and I can just go continue that direction. Now that I know about the master below. The Fool, Dragon of the Obsidian Order. Uber. Yep, these are definitely more Kickstarter backers that didn't back on high enough of a tier to get a NPC story character or something. This game is freaking heavy with Kickstarter elements. It'd be kind of nice to be able to disable them, but that would cheapen the reward, I'm sure. But in particular, the bunch of like OC do not steal characters standing around are kind of distracting. Especially when a bunch of them are like god people or whatever they were called, and when like those are not common NPC types. I bet the majority of the god-born NPCs in the entire game are Kickstarter backers with heterochromia. It's always heterochromia, isn't it? Okay, I should not be letting this be as passive as I have, apparently. Go heavy on the attacks. Blast him. Blarg. Knock him on his ass. There we go. What's that? Awakened wood. Alright. Yep. Y'all could pretty much use a rest at this point. And I'm running out of camping supplies, so I'll have to stock up at some point. But yeah, Canna takes some hits in melee range. He seems to be the least durable of the bunch. Maybe I should switch him back to ranged. We do have 2 melee characters in the party.
Sure.
That's a formation. Please hit Eder first formation. Yeah, Canna's not just his endurance, which isn't much of a problem because we're definitely winning these fights, but his health, which goes down in a more permanent way, is necessitating more resting than I was hoping for. So maybe she should hang back a bit.
Kinda stuck over here.
You're alright out there. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. I will now obliterate his damage reduction. And you'll cover him with skeletons. Won't this be fun? That'll take him out, won't it? Badly injured. Near death. There's a lot going on here. Even without me actively casting a heal, I have 2 characters with AoE heal. Eder has automatic self-heal for being a fighter, and he has a life leech weapon. And nothing works quite like life leech in an RPG. Whenever I play a Diablo style game, it's always my most sought after resource is life leech. That's another 100 right there. Fleet feet. And hide armor.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
If only I could have my nice dog in my party be like this passive, constant searcher of resources. Like have him be the guy that will find any secrets and traps. Maybe have him pick up mushrooms for me. But even just like notice secret buttons and things like that. Instead of me having to manually go into search mode. Be kind of nice. Yep, you're still using arcane. Okay, we need him to fall on his ass, please. That damage reduction's about to get real bad. Yell at him. Did I already yell at him? I did. Yeah, that'll make him go down quickly. And he's flanked. Isn't that fun? I want weapon infected to be a warning so that I know when I have a character that needs to switch weapons or change my approach. But it's just kind of annoying when the skeletons have to pop up. I'm like, I don't really expect the skeletons to be that effective. I just expect them to be kind of annoying. And increase the number of enemies my enemy has to choose from so that my characters are safer. Stormwall Gorge. Don't think I'm in a hurry to go there yet, but it's an option now. Right now we're mostly scouting. Checking out a new chunk of map. We seem to have found the southern border. I'm exploring in the most inorganic way possible, where instead of following the road at all, I'm just scraping the map to try to fill it out. Like some kind of lunatic. I don't know if a primordial dude has slash, honestly.
Following your stand.
Yeah, you're gonna be in trouble now. This is a lot of summons. Went in a slightly different direction this time around.
Right.
I might be being a little overly conservative with my spellcasting,
Sure.
considering that I never actually run out, because I use them so little. But the upside is that I can completely panic and let loose the moment something slightly threatening happens, like that one spider, by being like, "Fuck it, use it all," because I've let it build up. Let's follow the path a little bit, so I feel like less of a lunatic as I explore, even though I'll totally scrape up and down each wall when I'm done to make sure we discover everything there is to discover.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
A dwarven woman, dressed in skins and hides, leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bear figurine between her feet. A large, white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Back up. What does this stranger have to do with your friend?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
How long have you been looking for Persok? Her painted brows lower, and her compact, muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of our people in the Deerwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember? who could be anyone now.
That about sums it up.
Why do you have to find Persak? She smiles wryly. That's more of a campfire tale. I'm not quite ready to get into it. Then it must be an important duty.
So I keep reminding myself. Still, it would be nice if important duties came with clearer instructions.
She looks at the Adra figurine in the dirt. How does that statuette figure into it? She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished Adra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and ovoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persak. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persak, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time it looks just like this.
I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
What's the wolf's lair? Defiance Bay. Locals call the current Duke Wolfgren. Sounds like he'd be fun to drink with. Is Twining Trees a real place? He meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they have some especially memorable trees. Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
You could still go after that false watcher. She swats at the air. I was mostly trying to scare him. I wouldn't really kill a man over a few gold pieces. I don't have much use for coin anyway. Besides, knowing his type, he's cleared out of town by now and spent whatever he made. What if I'm Persak? Not to disappoint you, but there's no chance. This thing would glow like a torch. She wiggles the figurine. May I see the figurine?
Why?
She looks at the Audra bear and then back at you, her eyes narrowed. Why not?
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
This really sidesteps the whole process of trying to convince her that I'm a watcher. She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but curious. You raise the Audra bear, turning it in the light. As your eyes catch a tiny, glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see a sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. Ah, perception skill. No. Wow, that's a high requirement. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I'm a real watcher. He blinks at you a few times, calculating. If you'd seen the way he stares at dead things, you'd know he's serious.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Pursock on the way.
And if this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Tucks the figurine into her pouch, and her fox stands, shaking its pale coat. And so we have it. And now I can finally see if that bow is any good for her. There we go. And we are quickly running out of any semblance of things I half remember from this game from 4 years ago. I think I can vaguely remember 2 other companions, but I don't think I remember anything about their personality or appearance, really. And I definitely don't remember where they are. Alright, so she's got a hunting bow. Does less damage. Accuracy 2, plus 8 accuracy, whereas this one has accuracy and damage. So hers does slightly less, not necessarily slightly less damage. 4 less max damage, for example. Pierce Crush is weird. This one has more range, same speed, same interrupt. Bit of a mixed bag, I suppose. I can't enchant this to have better or anything, right? I don't even have the money to make it fine, but I think fine would override the fact that it already has accuracy 2. I can make it exceptional, but only for level 8. Whereas damaging 2 requires what? Level 3? Ah, so those are way easier to do. Yeah. I suppose I might be able to... Can I do accurate 2 and damaging 2? Because that would be pretty good. That would help out. But I need Drake Talons, which I super don't have. My takeaway a lot of the time is that, oh, right, I'm just not very good at calculating min-max stats. I don't know how heavily I should prioritize accuracy versus damage, for example. So just out of habit, I might just leave her with her lore weapon until I'm sure something is better. Sagani's hunting bow is made for a dual role. In her home village, the hunters pursue game both to kill and to subdue, often using blunt arrows to stun small quarry. These captured animals are sometimes raised or traded to other villages. As a result, Sagani's Masuk bow can fire arrows that do pierce or crush damage, but it has slightly reduced range and damage. Yeah. I don't know. She has some bonus accuracy, and crush might be more useful than just a straight bow, potentially. Do I want her to be switching? That's another issue, is do I want her switching to melee weapons when she gets attacked in melee range, or do I want her, or do I want to have a different bow that has different attack type for when crush doesn't pay off? It still is, they're both partly piercing though. Let's let her play around with her default. Fine hide armor. So hide armor with 2 more DR, so 9 DR overall basically, which is pretty up there. Well, is it 7 plus 2, or is the plus 2 in the 7? I guess one way to tell would be to look at the hide armor I already have. Hide armor is 5. Okay, so the 7 is already with the plus 2. Gotcha. Gotcha. Purple character. Oh yeah, Kana needs a color. Because you're red, you're blue, you're gold. Ranger green is pretty straightforward in my book. Wow, it shows up like nowhere on her, except for the parts that are always green. Not a lot of her changes color, apparently. It's maybe a little bit too diversity. All right. What's left for you? For our marksman, singer. So green, blue, purple, red are accounted for. Kind of oranges too. Let's see. We have red. Do we have ready the blue already? Because it's red, kind of yellow, blue. So the primary colors are there. Then we have purple, orange, and green. Yeah, those are the six most distinguishable colors, essentially. The problem being that, I guess just as much as purple and blue can, well, not in this case, but sometimes blend together, especially yellow and, yeah. Yellow and, orange are gonna blend together here. Especially since, in this case, orange basically doesn't exist. Maybe I should make you more explicitly brown then. That's a color we have more of. Hey, and then he's like the shining gold character. That's easier to see. So purple, gold, purple. We have purple, gold, brown, blue, red, green. That kind of works. It's really a fool's errand. So little of their body changes appearance with the color except for Durance, who's wearing a robe. It's pretty much just their capes. I don't actually no, it's not their capes, is it? Do their capes change to fit their appearance? Right, you're not wearing a cape. Do I even have a cape? I'm out of capes. I think. Unless I'm just missing it somewhere. It's not under armor. I think it goes with these. The hats. Yeah, it's in the clothing category. I believe that's where the capes normally are. But I've run out. I need more capes. Alright. 6 party members it is. Sagani draws up beside you, her fox following at her heels, and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
Sounds like you've been gone from home a long time.
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimak.
Hearing its name, the fox looks up. What an adventure!
It certainly started out that way. It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
Why do you have to find Pursock?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Elitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Elitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Pursock died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero. Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
I'm sure your village still remembers you, Sagani. You're kind to say so, but I'm not so fragile that I need my name chanted in the meeting halls.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me. But sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me, if they think of me often.
Of course they do, they must. I would like to believe it, and yet, sometimes days go by and I realize that they have not crossed my thoughts. Such days are rare, but they happen. She looks away, tugging at the strap of her quiver. It shames me to think of it, but more than that, it scares me.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often, I find myself wondering whether Persoc will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
Yes, in fragments. She leans a hair's breadth closer. Really? What's that like? There are parts I like and parts I don't.
Makes me wonder what Persoc remembers about our village. Or if a turn at the wheel has yanked the details out of his mind like it does for most of us.
What would you tell him about your village?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Itamak brushes against her hip, and she scratches his head. Recently, there have been a lot of good years. My aunts say we've had fewer clashes with neighboring villages thanks to the hunting territories that Persoc helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with the merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and sea pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Persoc brokered a lot of those agreements too. She holds up the bear figurine. He got this from one of the Amawa ships that used to trade with us. It sounds like Persoc did a lot for your people.
That's what I'm supposed to remind him.
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feeling the thrill of the chase? Or ready for this to be over? I enjoyed the adventure. Every day brings something new. Explorer. Yep, that's exactly it. She laughs and thumps her knee. Just what I expect from a rugged outdoorsman. It's refreshing to travel with someone who can appreciate the scent of a trail, that's for sure. She rises and stretches, looking around. Might as well keep moving while we got some daylight. I'd like to talk some more. What's on your mind? I want to know about your homeland. Nazitok? She rubs her nose with one broad finger. It's a big island in the middle of the Deadfire archipelago, just off the coast of the white that wends. Tundra, mostly, with a few snow-covered forests in the warmer parts. Most of us live in fairly small villages, by standards here anyway. Mine is Masuk. Aren't I from Nazitok? Because I chose to be from the location... I think I chose to be from Deadfire, right? It may not be the exact region, but I think I might have made my character from Nazitok, in which case it's a little weird that there's no dialogue about, like, yo, we're from the same country or whatever. Probably not the same village, but still. What's Nazitok like? She shrugs. Cold, but not as cold as the white that wends. The few kith who visit Nazitok find it sparse, but there's plenty to sustain a village, if you know where to look. She takes the items off her calloused fingers. We get hides and meat from caribou, seals, and small whales. Bone, too, which makes fine bows and arrowheads. Community is important to us. We survive or perish together. So everything we do, every week-long hunt, every wall we build, is for the village. Who lives there? Mostly Anutanik like me. People here call us Boreal Dwarves. Migratory clans of Glenfallen, of glam felon from the White That Wends sometimes spend the colder seasons on Nasitak. But we don't see too many other foreigners who can tolerate the elements. She pats a weather-bronzed arm. Those of us born in Nasitak like to say we have a hardy layer of seal skin just beneath our flesh. Tell me more about Masuk. We are a tundra village. To an outsider's eye, we're probably not much different from the others around us, but our elders have stories that go back hundreds of years. Epic hunts, battles with neighboring villages, sojourns across the sea. We share these stories, too. Let's take a break. We've been dialogue heavy lately. I've got to level up a new character. Oh god, oh god, oh god. A whole new class to figure out. How complicated can a hunter be? Obviously, you're going to be a survivalist. You're the hunter. There's never been a more obvious character to specialize in this. Even though I'm not sure... Are there any bonuses to this besides just giving us these options? I think that's it. Yeah, sometimes in conversations and interactions, but I don't think it matters if it's not her. Wait, no. I've been waiting for a stealth specialist, right? We'll be putting points into both. But she'll be the stealthiest of them all. Even though, I guess, mechanics is what determines how you find secrets, so... eh. Oh boy. Okay, so these first ones are always the ones unique to this character. Vicious Companion. Trains the Ranger's animal companion in vicious tactics, causing it to deal more damage and penetrate reduction with each hit. So plus 15% damage and 3 DR bypass. Or, the Ranger's aim becomes deadlier, making his or her wounding shots more accurate. So plus 10 accuracy and wounding shot, which is apparently a skill she has. Twice per encounter, so that's a commonly used ability then that she'll be using every fight. It hobbles an enemy for 11 seconds. And also does damage. That's inflicted over 6 seconds, I guess. Yeah, more accuracy is good. Resilient Companion. Plus 3 damage reduction on the companion itself. That'd probably not be bad, considering how easy it might be to kill the companion. Tanks are good. Faithful Companion. Improved defenses against charmed, confused, dominated. So their loyalty makes them less susceptible to mental abilities. Merciful Companion. Do small amounts of sneak attack damage against enemy targets that qualify. Plus 30% damage. That could be pretty good. Considering we have, like, more aggressive melee characters, the companion actually might have a lot of chance to flank. Which could make that very powerful. But of course we gotta question things like this, like, do we want bonus accuracy with her bow? And some other options around here. I'm usually not crazy about some of these. It's really the offensive ones that I'm usually more interested in. Is Interrupt just not here, or am I not seeing it? These are elemental, yeah. You have to pick a specific category based on what you want here. And you'd have to wonder what their definition of distant means. Anyway. But yeah, you have 1 upgrade for her and 4 upgrades for her companion. One issue is I don't know if the upgrades for the companion are mutually exclusive or not. But a lot of the time the companions are not amazing, so specializing in the ability that's specifically upgrading her is often a good start. That's all I can afford. No. Ooh, accuracy bonus versus specific creature type could be good. Bonus movement. Bonus damage versus flanked. I don't expect a ranger to count as flanked. Usually. I'm not sure how much she'll be able to do there. I'm gonna keep focusing on stealth, I think. Okay, now we have new abilities. Swift aim. Ranger gets into a speedy and fluid offensive rhythm, reducing accuracy but increasing fire rate and reload time with ranged weapon and attack rate with melee weapons. -7 accuracy but bonus speed, just in general. Marked prey. Designates a single target as prey, giving the ranger and animal companion a damage bonus against that target once per encounter. Plus 20% damage. It's not a huge bonus, and it's only once per fight, but it's good for when you have to take out a specific boss, for example, if you mark them. Predator Sense. Heightens the predatory instincts of the ranger's animal companion, giving them damage bonus to any creature suffering a damage over time effect. Ooh. Whoa. So any damage over time effect on a guy causes your pet to just do massively more damage. Vicious aim. By lowering attack and reload rate, you're able to take more careful aim. So this is the opposite direction. Slow down a bit to get increased accuracy and increased range damage. Make those shots really count. Probably worth it, especially if you can trigger it as a toggle. Big fan of passives though. Let's give my pet an upgrade, especially one that's always on. There we go, a bit of survival. But we're at rank 7 stealth now. Those would be some nice bonuses. Because it's 2 different bonuses, so if we do a... She's already going to be doing a wounding shot, especially since I'm probably going to turn the AI on, so she'll just do it on her own. Her companion will then automatically... especially if they flank, they'll be getting like, what, an 80% damage bonus? 50% from the damage over time, 30% from flanking? A fox should probably be alright at flanking, I would hope. But bit of a gamble. I definitely don't know going in how good she'll be at this stuff. Ranger uses wounding shot and marked prey against targets engaged by the companion. That's nice. So they specifically will, that's pretty good. She'll specifically target the companion's target. Animal companion auto attack. Aggressive. Definitely go in there. Pretty much just have people set to aggressive. I can set everything to aggressive for her. For these 2 characters, I have them... their class behavior set to none, because I want to choose their spells. But for now, I'm okay with her just using Wounded Shot and just going for it. So here's our ability. It hobbles, it pierces, and she uses it twice per fight. Much like Aloth, I might as well just let them use it, like Arcane Assault here. Having them use it automatically is a bit helpful at speeding up these encounters, because manually triggering that twice per fight and the other one twice per fight and this twice per fight is like a bit much. How are you doing with knockdown? Hold ground. Right, I set you to this because I wanted you to use Vigorous Defense. Or I can set to aggressive, so he actually uses knockdown more. Let's experiment with that a bit, because he doesn't use it on his own. And it would often be improving our fight a bit if he was knocking some guys on their ass, because the sooner he does the knockdown, the fewer attackers you have at the beginning of the fight when there are the most attackers. So if we're taking some of them out, that's kind of a good spot to be in.
How may I help?
We'll see. I might want to go back to the defensive one. Right now, most of the stuff he's talking about don't exist. It's just Defender being turned on or off, and that's about it. Which is probably something I should be paying more attention to, but I haven't necessarily. Right. Yep, got an all new formation to figure out now. Now that we just went abruptly from 5 people to 7 people. So things are getting a little crazy. We can just become a giant crazy wedge. No. How's that? For a party shape. And also, Dog is here, who is not a pet, and is not part of the fight. This isn't confusing, you're confusing. This is a thing. I don't know, we'll see. It's a lot of people to choose the roles for. Probably best that Kana's now unranged, because if he was still melee, we'd have a lot of melee units. A Puigra? Some kind of primordial creature? Immune to hobbled, petrified, and stuck. Of course, the moment I learned the hobble skill, this person's immune to it. Some kind of nightmarish looking witch tree creature. Bit concerning.
Can't get a good shot with the...
A lot of ineffective weapons right now, which doesn't bode super well. Yeah, it seems like everyone's weapons are ineffective. Yeah, damage reduction to 15. Okay. Divine Mark is tempting. I'm trying to remember if I have a specific reduced damage reduction skill. I could create a holy zone. Just to increase might. Increased accuracy and damage. Let's pump these dudes up. Oh, that's everybody. Nice. A very large spell. Yeah, I think bonus fire damage is my best move right now. I can't reduce their damage reduction until our character over here reaches 3 chance. That's the closest thing I have. Here we go. Badly injured. We're already making progress. Having skeletons should be pretty nice. Because once the skeletons are in, they'll all be dealing damage, and she's taking bonus damage from all fire right now? Or she should be soon, if that's been... you're still working on casting it. Ooh. A few bad things bouncing around, but now she's got the fire thing on her. And then there's gonna be a bunch of skeletons all smacking her for that bonus fire damage. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I think the 2 chance really flattened the fight. The skeletons didn't get to help out. The fights just aren't quite tough enough for 2 chance to pay off. But when they get tougher, they're gonna be in trouble. when I get to unleash these things, because every single one of those skeletons would have been hitting them to cause fire damage. as the burning wounds effect triggered. I believe that's how that works. And then they'd be in real trouble.
Nice and quiet.
Any secrets around? Wishful thinking. Alright. A fine svide. Wine dregs swirl around the bottom of the clay jar. An abandoned cart. Ooh. And 300 copper. I'll take it. We're back above 1,000 again. I imagine that they took the cart to such an inconvenient place to defend it from thievery, but it also seems like they just abandoned it. Or they're dead. Look at this nice, healthy 6-player party. That Keep's not gonna know what hit it. Once I backtrack to it after exploring this area, at least. I just hope to learn my next chant soon with both of my chanters, because having them overlap is kind of a bummer. A sparrow's nest is tucked between 2 angled slats. Although what I really want is like next tier chants or something like that. Or see what it looks like when options start to expand, because I don't have a ton of options at the moment. What kind of map options do I get on this side? Access to Edelwyn Bridge. Beginnings of getting to that Defiance Bay. It looks like I still have access to this side from here. Are you guys having trouble finding it? There you go. Yeah. I can highlight all 3 of these options at once. The bridge, the falls, the gorge. So I think just clicking on one of the sides unlocks that path for you without you even having to navigate that way. That's how I discover all my options. Not one sign of life around here, huh? We'll see how that holds out. Gotta be careful. If I click too fast and aggressively, they start to group up strangely. Ah, a lore person. Tucked under the flap of this bedroll is a relic of some kind, a small conch shell. Strung with seaweed. I am just stealing from this lady. You see a group of robed figures sitting next to a fire. This woman, much younger and smaller, sits with them. They're discussing travel and making plans, deciding which road will get them to their destination fastest. A rustling noise catches the attention of several members of the group, and they stand, watching over the fire, straining against the darkness to see. An enormous shadowy figure makes its way into camp, and the darkness slowly parts against the firelight to reveal who it is. Many members of the group stand, readying weapons. Others quietly invoke their god, preparing spells for battle. The girl looks around, confused, when the man sitting next to her stands, holding out his arms. He chastises the others in the group for not showing the proper hospitality to a stranger. The man walks towards the ogre, hand extended, speaking words of welcome in its own tongue. The ogre stares at the man for a brief moment. Then, with a swiftness seeming unnatural for a being of its size, it swings the club it had been dragging behind itself. It connects with the man's head, causing a wet, crushing sound. The woman to the girl's right screams and rushes to the man's side, covering half the distance before the man has even fallen to the ground. From the darkness all around the group, terrifying and blood-curdling shouts answer the screams of those in the camp as more figures approach through the darkness. Well, happy trails. Thanks for the camping supplies that I stole from you just now. See you later. Alright. Did that guy not know what a troll was? Wait a minute. A lion? Oh, there it is. Hi. I didn't see you there. Oh, boy. Knocked him on his ass. Oh, wow. Near death instantly. Yeah, having him just instantly knock people down seems effective. It exploded. Just a little excessive to have it explode like that. Okay. Lions appear to not be much match for me. I didn't know this game had lions in it. Just kind of happened. Oh look, more lions. Oh. More lions. Oh, Eder is not feeling great. Let's cast a defensive spell to try to deal with the incoming bad news. Oh, holy power is super local. You really have to be like right there. Let's not bother with that. I thought I cast it at range last time, or did I must have chosen a different spell. I probably went with Blessing. We're gonna go for damage reduction. Trying to shield our crew a little bit here. Uh-oh. That's not good, Aloth. That's not good at all. Come on and slam. And wound that. Wound him good. Let's focus here. Uh-oh. And now he's on Durance, which is also not great. This one dead? He is. We need to deal with this. Durance, no. There we go. Look at this puppy. He's just walking through here, pushing the gore across the field. I'm a little surprised the gore has physics and can be pushed around. As I was saying that there was one spinning here. Well,
If it makes you rest easy.
kudos everybody. Turns out lions exist, and there's a bunch of them around. The Hearth Harvest. This hunting hatchet has a leather-wrapped wooden handle and a silvered blade covered in finely etched flames. When the blade is coated in the blood of prey, or an opponent, the etchings glow a fiery gold, roaring to life. Even at rest, the hatchet smells faintly of smoke and charred flesh. So it has some bonus deflection, and it has burn damage and DR bypass. So a few decent things. Rending and burning lash. Nice little one-handed weapon. If nothing else, those are better weapons for her to have when she goes into melee mode, is those two. Hearth Harvest and Oilrecht. In fact, the mixing up the elements with like slash and pierce and fire and life leech, that's nice. Because if she is forced into a melee situation, she could be healing off the attacks and also just flailing all sorts of elements of attack all at once so that she can defend herself, hopefully.
Yeah.
Waves are roughly chiseled into the stone. They grasp at Ondra's beloved moon like curling fingers. What are you using again for yours? That is a pretty nice one. Turning grazes into hits. Making the damage more effective, making the life leech more effective. I'll probably stick with that. Bloop. And we're just about done here. Any more lions want to come popping out? Oh, forest troll. I've gotten a bit stronger since before. Oh no! That got bad fast. Wow, the fog of war really like pulled back to reveal bad news for me there, didn't it? Okay, time to invest, because we are about to be we're definitely about to be resting after this. God damn. Yeah, let's get those 3 chants done so I can very abruptly throw out some cool stuff. Oh, I got hit by something. Autumn's Decay. A crit. What did you crit? Don't do that. Crits add up for 6 corrode damage and additional effects. That's a lot of corrode. We're gonna have to heal against that. Petrified, hobbled, and struck. Okay, well, I need to heal because I just took a bunch of health damage. I can hopefully just suck it back up. There we go. Would like people to not be able to fight very well right about now, so I'm gonna throw out whatever I can that I think will help. I really need some enemies, some allies to mix up this giant fight here, so here we go. There goes one forest troll, and we're about to have a lot more backup. Hopefully before the wolf goes down. Okay. So have everyone focus this troll. Except for Adair, who if he moves around, he's gonna disengage and cause bad news to happen. There we go. Things have gotten more distracting and messy. And people are fighting all sorts of different targets, which gives me the upper hand a bit, because these skeletons and so on are making a mess of things. That's good. Adair's real health is going down, though, which is not great news. Let's go for some magic casting over here. Yeah. Hazard AoE. Doesn't say faux AoE, so it might not work that way. None of these guys are vessels, right? Wilder and Primordial. Alright, that's the local AoE that's really small. How big is the Doubt AoE? I'm going all in on my effects right now. There we go. Just trying to stack as many negative effects as I can to make it so they can't really fight me back so strongly. That's a lot. A lot of weapon and effective bad news happening, unfortunately. Alright. Everybody focus this troll next. Oh, never mind. Everyone focus the big, scary, dumb thing. The Puigra. If they can. Is she down? Yeah, okay. This should be easy enough now, just a couple trolls. Oop. Out of range for that. That's fixable though. Shock damage, there we go. And take out the DR. Oh yeah. And nobody died. Things went alright. And now we take their skin. A totally normal thing that adventurers do in video games. Nothing makes looting feel weird, I realized, until I played actual tabletop games. Like in a video game, you're like, get all the stuff, click, 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 click. But the moment you're like, I am a character, and this is my personality, and I am behaving, and I am performing actions. The idea of murdering dudes and then like sifting through their bodily remains on a regular basis is suddenly way weirder. Because you're like, what? Like thinking to like, and then I take the stuff off all the corpses. And saying it out loud is always way weirder. We're gonna travel all the way to Gilded Vale. Because I'm ready to go attack a keep. Probably next episode. Once I confirm that I even know how to find it. I think we've already confirmed its location. I just held off on it. Yeah, the idea of like imagining your character slowly picking through all the corpses and bodies and grabbing valuables from them and everything. It's like, well, that's like every video game character when you play video games. When you're playing like D&D or something and you're thinking about like character actions, like it's suddenly like you're kind of a particular kind of person that does that. I've had multiple campaigns where the dungeon master gets like kind of frustrated because they like put all these cool items on the corpses and then nobody in the group actually gets the items off the corpses because
Hail and well met.
once it's not just a simple click that's like abstracted and does a video game mechanic, you start to think about it in universe and you're like, this is actually slightly weird. It'd be like the corpse robber once you're role-playing. Alrighty, everybody's rested up. And a robust party it is.